My name is Peter Hoffmeister. I'm an artist that makes sculpture, installations, and works on paper. What gets me initially excited is material. Oftentimes discovering a new material that I haven't engaged with and learning how it wants to be manipulated, handled, shaped, formed, and kind of having a dialogue in that regard. But then also trying to figure out how the material relates to ideas that I might be interested in. The past few years, clay and ceramic have kind of formed the cornerstone of my practice, and I think that's in part because I've started digging clay myself, and that's created a whole new layer of interest for me, that where I have to kind of find the source of the material and harvest it and process it and become very kind of like intimately acquainted with it. My love of clay really deepened when I did a residency on Fisher's Island at Lighthouse Works. I had gotten into the residency with the understanding that there was natural clay occurring on the island that I could dig and harvest, and they had a kiln there. So I was interested in doing that, and I had started digging clay a couple years prior. But I hadn't found a connection between why I was harvesting the material and using natural clay with a particular project, and that's when those two concerns met at the residency, because I learned that there used to be a brick factory on the island, and they used that clay that I was planning to dig to make bricks. And so suddenly learning that fact kind of closed the loop and solved that issue for me. And I was like, oh my God, wait, just make bricks. And so I started harvesting the clay and slip casting the bricks to make these hollow forms that are actually kind of imposters. They're not truly bricks. They kind of look like bricks, but aren't bricks. They're hollow, they float, and they can't bear much weight. So they're kind of like anti-bricks. Ever since I can remember, I've been tinkering, making art, playing with materials, taking apart objects I would find like as a kid just to see what was inside them. And I've always been very interested in history. And I think for me, again, going back to my youth, I would be sitting around the kitchen table with like my parents and my grandparents and listening to them tell stories about times that I could not access physically, but I could access through them and through their stories. And so I think as I got older, that got folded into my art practice and merged with my political concerns and positions as an adult. Yeah, and oftentimes my engagement with history is not for history's sake. It's so that we can understand our present moment better, to ground it, to give it context. Because if you don't understand your past, you can't shape your future.